Welcome back to the third Saturday in October, your SEC water cooler podcast for the rest of us. Want to support us? It's easy to do. Find us online at thirdsaturdainoctober.com, on social media at TSIO Pod, on Venmo at TSIO Pod, or at buymeacoffee.com/TSIO Pod. And I'm Bradley, coming back to you with a little bit of a preview to the Men's College World Series championship. So we got through the double elimination portion. Did you watch any of it? Because it was pretty exciting, especially if you were watching LSU Arkansas in a rematch from their first round game. Um, LSU winning with a walk-off base hit, hard back up the middle, just went off the second baseman's glove into the outfield. And it's unfortunate that the play at the plate wasn't close because the center fielder for Arkansas made an incredible throw. But LSU is back in the championship series, going up against Coastal Carolina, who has had a pretty awesome run throughout the playoffs. So LSU versus Coastal Carolina. This is a best of three series. So you're going to have games Saturday, Sunday, and if needed, Monday. So next time I talk to you, we'll be um, talking a little bit about the 2025 College World Series champion. Um, will be coming home to the SEC, or will Coastal Carolina knock off LSU? That remains to be seen. So you got two more, possibly three more college baseball games to take in. If you can do, it's really exciting. Um, as Tennessee's season ended, kind of looking towards what's next. And baseball season, there's not a lot of time between games because you're playing on Tuesday or Wednesday, and then you're playing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So a couple of days maybe. So recruiting's a little tough. It's not like you can really get out um, on the recruiting trail. So as soon as your season's done, you are doing what you can to recruit. And Tennessee picked up a commitment from Bowling Green catcher Garrett Wright. Um, Tennessee's got a decent catcher. Um, Lawless caught quite a few games for us this year. Had to play, was it the first? I guess it was the first game of Super Regionals. Yeah, um, because Cannon Peebles got ejected, got tossed from the previous game, and so Lawless had to fill in because ejections. It's Think of it similar to the targeting rule, where targeting you're out uh, uh, the rest of that game and into the first half um, of the next. When you're tossed in baseball, you're out the rest of that game and you have to sit out the next game. Um, so it can be a costly penalty. Um, but you always need multiple catchers, and Garrett Wright brings a good bat to the lineup. Um, there are a couple other um, uh, commitments that Tennessee's got, transfer portal and otherwise. Um, so there have been five total commitments, um, and a lot of, I think, four of these are pitchers. Um, you've got Clay Edmondson from the Big South Conference Pitcher of the Year. Um, the Southern Conference Pitcher of the Year, Brady Frederick. Um, Bo Rudy, Kennesaw State, and MIT's Mason Estrada. So four pitchers plus a catcher. Um, there's also um, Matt Barr, who's a junior college pitcher. Um, here's kind of a tricky thing. So you've got the MLB draft coming up, and several of these players could be drafted, and you can get drafted, but still elect to come back to college and play because you kind of see, okay, where am I drafted? There's a bunch of rounds. Um, am I drafted high? If I'm drafted high, you know, I think I'm got a shot at the majors fairly soon. If you're not drafted real high and you can go back to college, you can go back and try to improve your draft stock. And now with NIL, you can look at it and say, hey, I can go to a place like Tennessee and make some money. Um, and probably gonna make, I don't know what baseball players make, but at the college level, but I know that minor league players don't make a whole lot of money. Um, so you've got, there's some incentive to stay at the collegiate level um, and and play some baseball. So we'll see what happens in the draft. We'll have to kind of circle back to see who's actually gonna make it to Knoxville and who is not gonna make it. And um, you know, Tennessee's gonna lose some players to the draft as well, and we'll talk about that as the draft gets closer because maybe a couple first rounders, top top two, 3 rounds, you should see quite a few um, Vols from this last season. Uh, but just wanted to bring that baseball news to you as we're kind of winding down the season with only two teams remaining. Again, LSU and Coastal Carolina taking on each other this weekend. So by next Tuesday, we'll have a new baseball national champion. Um, things are pretty quiet on the football front because the transfer portal is closed. I mean, there's not a whole lot going on except maybe some commitments from high school seniors. So transfer portal is pretty quiet. Um, but we're kind of gearing up for um, fall camp. So there's summer workouts, different things going on, but fall camp is what's going on next. So um, just so you know what's going on, uh, uh, we'll come to you next week, kind of just to wrap up the baseball season. Um, we'll kind of recap any recruiting news, football, basketball, baseball, um, and then we'll take a few weeks off. Um, July 4th is coming up, so we'll come back kind of mid-July, and then we'll come back probably mid-August as we're in fall camp, getting ready for kickoff because kickoff is not that far away. Um, are you excited? I'm excited. Uh, that the Joey Aguilar era is about to begin. Maybe short-lived, but about to begin. And he's not just going to be handed the starting job either. Um, you've got a um, good quarterback room at Tennessee. Um, so we'll see what happens. Um, I know Jared will have some Auburn news as well. So you'll want to tune in next week and over the summer with a couple episodes. But I want to Want to just say again, if you want to support the show, it's really easy. Go to thirdsaturdayincoctober.com or find us on social media at TSIO Pod, and share it with friends. If you want to support the show monetarily, go to Venmo, find us at TSIO Pod, or go to buymeacoffee.com/TSIO Pod. Uh, Neither Jared nor I are uh, going to get rich off this podcast, but it does help um, us pay for hosting fees, and just kind of cover a few minor costs. But thank you for your support in listening each week. Hope you've enjoyed this dive into college baseball. Um, uh, Baseball, as we've talked about, was my first love as far as sports. Played it for 13, 14 years, something like that, and have really enjoyed getting to get back into it, both through Tennessee baseball, um, improving under Tony Vitello, and also getting to watch my son play for the first time this earlier this spring. So I hope you've enjoyed it as well. Um, I'm looking forward to a good series this weekend. Um, Not sure who I'm rooting for. Normally I love rooting SEC all the time, but Coastal Carolina, this is kind of a cool story. So um, I'll remind you that heroes come in all sizes, and as always, roll balls.
Tailgate, man cave, living room, pre-game, burgers, ribs, chicken wings, chipping.